Hi, I'm Sky and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 4 common things that I avoid that can keep you broke or can derail you from your savings goal. First one, car payments. Car payments can vary significantly from a new car to a used car and to a cash car. The big issue comes in when you buy a new car and it is taking up a large percentage of your take home pay or is a large part of your budget. For example, very common car that I will use is going to be a Honda Accord. A brand new Honda Accord right now is approximately $36,000 with the current auto interest rates of roughly 6%. You are paying close to $700 a month over a 60-month time period. That is $42,000 for a car, brand new car that was $36,000 and which has a large depreciation value. So that value decreases as soon as you drive off the lot and within the first 5 years. Now, if you are in need of transportation, another option would be trying to buy the car cash. Getting that car cash, one, I would recommend saving for that as much as you can, especially if the purpose is to get you from point A to point B, to get you from work, or to transport you and your children. It becomes more of the functionality than essentially the brand. You also do want to pick a vehicle that is going to be more reliable, and there are certain brands that do show that they stand the test of time as far as reliability. So those would be the ones you would want to go for. Another thing to think about is just because you're buying a car cash does not mean the maintenance cost is going to be significantly different. If a car has a high maintenance cost, whether it's brand new, it's going to still have a high maintenance cost in its when it's used and when it's more likely to have the atoms break down. So for example, purchasing a BMW versus purchasing a Honda, the maintenance cost will be significantly different. And that's also something you should think about. But car payments, especially new car payments, is something that will significantly cut into your budget. And if you're not careful, will make you broke. 2, activities that you are not paying for in cash. So, girls' trip. Let's go and have fun. Things you did not plan for example, can interfere in your savings plan if you had not factored in that cost. So try to avoid being caught off guard or going on short notice trips or coming or paying for short notice expenses, things that you did not plan for. If it is a trip that you have more than enough knowledge for, your best bet is going ahead and planning for that trip, budgeting how much you think it should be, and giving yourself an honest budget. Meaning, if you know there will be outings or excursions, you need to factor that in. That way, you're not caught off guard putting a large sum on a credit card that may also have a high interest rate, or essentially paying for something you don't have the money for. One thing you want to avoid is getting yourself in the kind of trouble that you can't get yourself out. For example, if you go on a trip or excursion, let's say a group trip, you were able to get to your destination, but if something happens at your destination, let's say there is an accident, let's say someone gets sick, let's say there's incurred cost or additional cost, do you have the funds necessary to cover those costs? So try to avoid getting yourself in a problem where you can't get yourself out of, and also something that'll interfere with your savings goal. 3, following trends. How many Stanley Cups do you own? That's the recent rage. And with those cups going for as high as $50 a cup, if you follow trends, you may get caught up spending money that you had not budgeted for. Social media is another hub, another place for trends. The aesthetic trend, the XYZ trend, the how much do you have trend. Following these trends can get you into a situation where you're spending more than you actually wanted to, or just out of the excitement or out of the fun or the camaraderie of following certain trends or being a part of a group, you may end up spending money you've not budgeted for, and this can also derail your savings. So this is something I also avoid. 4, using your credit cards, and in particular using your high interest credit cards and letting the balances roll over. This is something that can keep you broke and it can interfere with your savings. So the goal would be limit your credit card usage. If you do not have the money to pay for it, do not put it on a credit card. What you can for pay in cash. Of course, if it's a large sum that you cannot pay for at once, let's say you have a car issue, let's say you have a major home repair that has to be covered on a credit card, the goal is to pay that off as soon as possible. Also, avoid using credit cards that have very high interest rates. Meaning, if you have a credit card with a high interest rate, the goal is to pay down those credit cards first because those high interest rates will interfere with your ability to save. And as those balances roll over, that compound interest begins to increase and you see that small balance just balloon. So avoid using credit cards with high interest rates or paying down your high interest credit card rates first. Not doing this is something that can also keep you broke. And a bonus, number 5, FOMO, fear of missing out, or you only live once, or life is too short. Common sayings we use as an excuse or as a reason to either spend money or go beyond what we would commonly go, such as spending money within our budget. These are things that can keep you broke as well if you get caught up or you make this a part of your daily living or daily mantra and you end up spending more than you were accounted for, or you spend in a way that prevents you from staying on your savings goal and savings track. So avoid falling into mantras, avoid the what's hot and trendy right now as far as in sayings. And like I said, you only live once. Yes, we only live once, but life is not short. Life is long. So make sure your savings can support a nice, long, comfortable life. So those are a few things I avoid to prevent me from going off track on my savings goal. So remember to like and subscribe. I will be doing a lot of other videos about tips and tricks, things I do that keep me on my savings goal and my journey to early retirement, as well as you will see some videos of some of my bucket list trips that I've taken. And you should be able to see my first bucket list trip that I have posted. All right. Bye.